Thank you.
That was marvellous.
Too quiet, though.
Too quiet, you
Slow
thought,
down.
yeah. It is a physical thing, I was saying earlier, I mean, it really sort of hits your big band.
Yeah.
And the sadness is you can't reproduce that sound through the speakers at home
Records,
at
no.
all.
No, excuse me. You have a lot of trouble with musicians, don't you? And dogs.
Right? Yes, right.
I didn't hear the end of the story about the guy with the bass drum. What happened?
Oh, that, yeah, well, when it was...
The bass drum, the bass drum.
Did you hear when he said that he's delivering milk at 5 o'clock in the morning?
No. Who was?
Well, it's a long story.
No.
Now, where you been since the last time that you've been on the show? You've been touring all over the place,
Yeah, we've
haven't
been all over the place.
All over the world.
We left here last year. We went to Japan. We were over there about 5 weeks. Came back home and did our usual summer tour.
you?
Which takes us all over the place.
You've been to Afghanistan as well, haven't you?
Well, that was a long time ago, Michael.
But that's an unlikely place for jazz, isn't it?
We were the first jazz band ever. We were sent over by the State Department at home. And we did a tour about 5 months and played most of the depressed areas in the world. Got to India. We played 3 nights in Kabul in Afghanistan. Then went to India.
What were the audiences like in Afghanistan?
Different.
Different?
Yes, very different. We played a thing called the Chechen Fair at the time. This is 1970. And we were the first musical thing to ever happen. And the people from Pakistan and the Afghani people, they come down from the hills and they're still wearing turbans and they come down on horses. We had 30,000 people at the fair the opening night. And since they weren't too familiar with westernized customs, instead of applauding at the end of a piece of music, they hum. They make a sound like that. If you could imagine 30,000 people.
And you wouldn't know really what they were saying, would you?
No, I thought perhaps they were coming up after me. I didn't understand.
Is your band, your big band that you take around the world, is it in any sense a kind of musical crusade as far as you're concerned?
No.
It's not?
No.
It's not?
I enjoy playing music. And,
I know that.
That's...
You also hate bad music, don't you?
Yes, I hate bad music. I hate bad anything. I hate bad movies.
Yeah.
You know, I hate bad people. But music, I think, transcends all of that. I think music appeals to everybody at every age, and I think it's something that's beneficial to the world.
Well, you once caused quite a stir in my program, I remember, at the height of the Osmond craze, by saying that you'd like to stamp on little Donny Osmond's head. And you're not repentant about what?
And he's still got a little head.
Yeah.
So, I have very strange feelings about that kind of music, if I can call it that. At one time, about 10 years ago, we played Nashville, which is the home of rock and country music, Nashville, Tennessee. And opening night, I was asked by the press what I felt about country music, and I gave some terrible answer. And on the following day, the owner of the club, we were playing a place called the Exit Inn, and we got a call that they had threatened to bomb the place if I showed up that night. Most of the country people were offended by that, not realizing how many people they offend by the music that they play.
Why don't you like it?
What is it?
I don't know. You tell
And
me.
how can you like it if you can't hear it and you can't see it and feel it? I don't understand it. It's not real to me. It's not really country music. It's not really the folk music. It's popular bad music.
But what do you
The
think?
cowboy hat.
What do you think then are the prime reasons for this sort of lack of musical taste? I mean, is it people like who've done a DJ job like Kenny's done in the past? I mean, are they the people who promote this stuff?
For what kind of people would listen to him anyhow?
This man is finished in the business. I want
Thank
him
you
out.
for that.
He's got,
Which one was he pointing at?
he's got very good musical taste, actually, as our Kenneth.
I know it is.
Is the taste, generally speaking, of audiences improving, though? I mean, as you go around, you find that more young people are coming to
Very
your
definitely.
band concerts. Yeah.
Very definitely. When we're touring at home, most of our work is involved with colleges and high schools, and the people that come there are very early 20s. And the strange thing about it is that when I first started the band in 1966, and everybody was concerned about the success of a big band since the rock thing had taken over completely in the music business, I decided that I thought it was time for a change. And since big bands weren't happening, it was time for a big band to happen. I took the band out on the road. It met with very little success the first time out. As a matter of fact, we played a hotel in Las Vegas. I think we're the only band to be canceled opening night. That's the truth. We played the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. Opening night, the pit bosses came back and complained to the main man that we were making too much noise for the gamblers. That's the truth. And of course, as you can tell, the band is a quiet, very soft band. And lovely to dance to. And we were booked in for 4 weeks. They paid me off, and we finished that night. And then we went on to New York, played a place called Basin Street East. Great success, and as a matter of fact, the very first time when we played there, Harold Davidson was in the audience, and he asked why I'd never been to England. I'd never been here before. I said, nobody's ever asked me. He said, well, I'm asking you. We came over here about 6 months later, the first tour, and we opened, our very first night was at Fairfield Hall in Croydon. And I was anticipating a huge success. You know, I thought the records had been big over here. We had about 300 people in the audience that seats about 3,000.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed and decided to give the best possible performance that I could give. And by the time we would finish the tour, which was 4 weeks later, we were sold out.
Good.
And it's been that way ever since, and I just can't thank the audiences enough. It's been marvelous.
It really has, yes. You in fact, it's alleged that you can play a percussion thing on anything at all. You can play on it.
Absolutely, as long as there's a drum.
As long as it's a drum. Well, Roy, what's this thing that you've got, this theory you've got?
No, well, when you get somebody it's in you, isn't it? The rhythm is there, and it's whatever it is, the real feel is there, isn't it?
Wrong.
It is. What do you mean wrong? You're trying to ruin this
No,
thing.
go ahead.
You could play anything, really, couldn't you? Were you a knife and fork drummer?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Have you got any change on?
You know I've got some change, because you... Here we go. Have I got change?
Right.
Whoa, have you
Look
got
at
change?
that. Okay. Right.
Whoa,
Now,
look at that
see
man
that.
change.
Look at that. All 2p. Look, all of them. So that it looks as if he's put a lot of change in tomorrow at church, right? Have you got 2 5s, anything like that?
There you go.
Now you just need a couple of sticks.
Am I going to play it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I need some sticks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I get a pair of sticks, please?
Here you are.
Thank you very much.
Right.
What do we do now?
It's a sort of... Go.
Thank you.
It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. It ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it.
That's what gets you long.
You can try hard, it don't mean a thing. Take it easy,
Isn't this silly?
But it ain't what you do, it's the way that...
Where you going?
Come on, it ain't what you do, it's the way... Come on now, it ain't what you do, the way that you do it, that's what gets results. Right. See, it ain't what you do, it's the way that you do. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do it. That's what gets results.
Yeah, man.
Ain't what you say, the way that you do it. Ain't what you say, the way that you do it. Ain't what you say, the way that
Can you improve on that, Mr. Davis?
Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do. Ain't what you do, it's the way that you do. Ain't what you do.